Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Limbwalkers podcast. You can get our Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Also, you can go to YouTube and you can see us talking about the things that we talk about. If one never ventures on the limb, one will never taste the fruit. And it is kind of a compendium of some of the stuff that Will Glaros sold his companies twice, has been very successful in business, has built up a way of living and a way of looking at life that we try to impart to others. And quite frankly, it has done a lot of good for the slacker that sits in the studio right now. It is about 70-year-old studios here on the campus of the WJOB. They call it the WJOB Media Campus and a post office, but what has happened is we were WJOB radio stations and a sports network, and we were on the campus of Purdue Northwest for 11 years. We used all the technology they gave us, and we built a sports network that is growing and booming. But the radio needed some attention, and eventually I said, hey, let's just move back to our home. And let's just screw around for a little while and do podcast network. Well, lo and behold, I've got 4 very eager and very hungry young people that are kind of pushing us. And now we have a podcast network, which this is part of. And now we have a YouTube channel. And once again, we are applying the latest technology, but we're doing it in a very old building. And we're back home, and you're seeing us here. We're actually in a temporary studio as we build a big TV studio here. But that's the history, and that is the context where the Limbwalker podcast comes in. And the main man is Will Glaros. Will, good to see you after the holidays and everything.
Good to see you too, Jimmy. And Happy New Year to you and to Adriana and all the staff and everything.
Happy New Year. Here, move your mic up just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna adjust you.
Right.
You know what? He's got so much gunk in his hair. His headset slides off his head.
I don't know how it can even move.
No, you turned me off.
Yeah,
your head is so slick from grease from that you put in there
That
like
must be
mousse
what it
and
is,
stuff.
grease.
It's
well,
falling off his head.
Only took 15 days into the new year. His first joke.
I'm on.
Hey, all I can tell you is that I've got a head that is. I mean, if I walk out into the middle of the windiest street in America, this hair won't move except in one piece up and down. It's like an air wing.
Hey, she's right. It's only been 15 days into the new year. You know, well, one of the things that I personally like to hang around with or hire are people that are going to challenge me and are going to challenge me, like Adriana here. She's 21 years old at the time, and she's like, we can't just do radio. We got to do a podcast network.
And now you're doing it.
Now we got 20. Now she's got 20 podcasts. We can't just go in there and start talking in audio only. We got to have a YouTube channel. I go, no, I just want to go back to radio. We built a TV station, a whole network. I'm out. Oh, no, we got to do this. So she did not, and Matt Kaufman sitting out there and others, they challenge. But the other part is you can't really, if you're going to hang around like somebody that's doing radio shows and sometimes has a little bit of comedy and stuff, you can't really get your feelings hurt that easily. And I tend to work through people who are going to have their feelings hurt. I'm sorry, I just can't do that because I'm not always going to watch what I say, and I'm not always going to be considerate of your feelings. You're pretty good, man. I'm out here, we're getting ready to come on, and I'm just heaping, just making fun of you and just letting it roll on you, and you're okay. You're like, it's not hurting my feelings.
Hey, man, if it ain't going to change my life, which it's not, I'm not going to worry about it. To me, it's just whatever.
We are back in historic studios, and we're building a brand new one out there right now. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel terrific. I mean, I have a lot of history with this station going back into the 90s when we had a program where we had people on under, I believe it was the Winner's Circle. to interview local people from Northwest Indiana who had terrific stories to tell, because normally all we hear is the bad news. And there's a lot of good news, and we need to hear it because people need to be inspired. I don't care when the age is, how good things are, there's always someone out there in the audience that needs to be inspired by activities and purposes of other people who are willing to walk out on that limb of life.
It's so odd to hear an insurance guy, but this isn't just any old insurance guy there, Adriana. This dumb like a fox guy sold his company.
The silver fox, Jimmy.
Yeah, I got you. The greasy silver fox.
Hey.
But he sold his company twice, and quite frankly, has done really well. And it is odd to have a podcast where he's talking about risk and urging you to take risks. And I still can't quite put that together.
I don't know that I'm asking people to take risk. I'm asking people to give life a chance. That doesn't mean it has to be something that you can lose all your money at or your life at or whatever, or ruin relationships. What it means is everyone who wants to take that step, but not everyone's capable of doing it. Some people are just very risk averse, and I probably shouldn't use that word again, but they're averse to having any kind of disruption in their life. And that's okay. Everybody's themselves. They are what they're made of internally. But for those people that want to get a little more out of life, if they want to experience some of the better things, the more exciting things, the more rewarding things, you can't do it without moving out beyond that base, that tree base that we all hug from day one. It's up to us to learn how to walk out on that limb of life and experience it, even if it's only one touch. I mean, I've had a number of touches out on that limb, and some of them have been successful, some have not. I can honestly say I'm never happy when they're not successful. I can honestly say that even when they're successful, sometimes you've worked so doggone hard, you don't know how to appreciate it. So there's a happy medium somewhere in there.
So there's people that are really resonating with that. And quite frankly, a lot of the things that you say resonate with me. Do you want to use a real life experience? Can we use one?
Yeah.
She's sitting right in front of us. Adriana Alvarez just turned 22 years old. We're not going to say the specifics of the situation, but she came to Matt Hansen and I today, and I was like, well, there's a business opportunity, and I'm just this, and I'm just that. And she said it a couple of times. There's nothing that pisses me off more than hearing that. I'll give you an example. Jordan Beasley gone on. He was player personnel for, he's big. He went in the NFL. He went to the NBA. And he and I are announcing a game at Lake Station, and he's 16 years old. And he's a wunderkind. He gets it. And I'm like, all right, we're going to go do a big game, and you're going to be the announcer, and I'm just going to be the guy who eats popcorn and cracks jokes and talks about the game. So he goes, all right, we go in the back door, and we set up, and we're ready to go, and it's like 10 minutes before we're going on air. He's like, I go to the bathroom. So he walks out into the lobby, and he's like, goes to the bathroom, and then he's getting ready to walk back in, and they say, hey, you got to pay. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, I'm the media, and, I'm announcing the game. And they're like, I don't believe you. It's going to be, I think then it was only $5. Now it's $7. And so he calls me on the phone, and he's like, all right, they're not going to believe the young. He actually said, he goes, they're just not going to believe that the young black kid is going to announce this game. They don't believe that I'm the media guy. And I asked him right then and there, I go, well, we can do one of two things. I can come out there and just nod, and they're going to let you in because I'm who I am. Or you're going to figure out a way to convince that person that you're the real deal, and you're not going to sit there and say, well, I'm just believing what he said, and I'm just some young black kid who can't figure it out. I go, either figure it out, or I go, do you want me to come down? He goes, no, you're right. Jim, I'm not going to do that. He went right up to that guy and he said, listen, I'm announcing this game and I'm going to walk right past you to the announcer's booth.
Yeah.
And you're either going to call security or you're not. But I have to be on the air in 2 minutes. And he walked straight past, walked right up into the stands, and I think he's not been the same since because I think he might have crapped his pants. But but that was the idea of understanding your own worth. You have talked about that many times.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, that's my point. Now, let's point it at Adriana. She sat here and said, well, I'm just this person, and I'm not a post-grad. I'm still a student, and I don't know how to approach this. I don't know how to price it. Well, she's getting attention, and people want her services. But she's thinking, once you start with "I'm just," I feel as if you exude that lack of confidence. Also,
Adriana? Where do you see yourself 2 years from now?
2 years from now, I would like to consider that I am still working here. 2 years from now, managing not only the podcast network, but then also more sides of the business aspect of what it has to deal with and making it as successful as we can here.
Do you see yourself someday owning this station?
Owning it? I don't know about owning it.
Why are you being such a jerk?
No, mainly
It gives you a way out, Jimmy.
he's giving you an out. No, I don't think
I
more
didn't expect that.
I don't think.
Oh, all right. I finally surprised him of all time. By the way, the other surprise is now I'm wearing a regular shoe again.
Now he's yelling, so turn him back down. All right.
But no, I don't think.
Wait a
owning
second.
it-
How about this?
What?
How about if he asks you, do you ever see yourself owning the podcast network?
Owning the podcast
Ooh,
network.
sorry. That's what I
say
meant to
yes.
say.
Not the whole station. The podcast network, yes, that would be amazing. And if we're able to get to where anybody that wants to do a podcast, not only in Northwest Indiana, but in the greater Chicagoland area, they come to us.
Yep.
They don't want to go out to Chicago. They want to come to us.
And what you're talking about are the details of the business and how you want to operate it.
Yes.
I see you running that podcast station in 5, maybe 10 years. I just don't know what the process is.
2 years. This thing moves quick.
If
Yeah.
it's quick,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it
We're
could be
quick
there.
with it.
Yeah.
First thing I see you doing to get that to that point, and I think I've said this before, you need to write down
Yep.
every goal you have for where you see yourself here in your personal life, everything. Write it down on paper. If you write it, you can visualize it. If you visualize it, your mind actually begins to creatively create pathways for you to achieve it. I see you in 5 years running a large podcast station here and making Northwest Indiana, which we always talk about. You mentioned this before about the fact people talk about the region and they always compare us with Indy or Chicago or wherever. Maybe the larger step is to become the podcast leader of America right here at WJOB. First thing we need to do is make a great big chart showing that so we see it every day. We need to put whatever the name of this is going to be out on the front of the building. I'm sure you're working on that. And visualize it and then do everything that you can with the skills you've got, and you've got a lot, to make that happen. I'll tell you what I found interesting. I was listening to yours and Matt's show this morning, and everything created there is just, it mesmerizes me. When he was out here talking about CPM or BBM or whatever, I have no idea what any of that means. I've never taken that. I mean, I knew the details of my business, but it was more of creating solutions for people.
Yeah.
And I see kind of the stuff that Matt talks about is how do we create the tools to do what we need to do, And what I'm talking about is more the leadership part of it, the people that are actually going to make it happen, that make the right decisions at the right time to be able to move ahead, not necessarily quickly, although that's always fun. And as you're saying, it happens quickly in this business now. I see you guys as just becoming something overly extra special.
So how do you feel about her underselling herself?
I think we all, it's not that you want to oversell yourself,
Yeah.
but you have enough confidence in yourself. And therefore, that's one of the reasons why I actually brought this book today, because I thought you've done a lot for me on the program and everything. So I've got this book. I honestly have not read it. I read pieces of it, but I thought this is perfect. It's called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And I wrote a little, it's not a note, it's 3 bullet points. And we've talked about this on the program. To really be successful, you have to have a purpose, something that drives you to make this happen, to have the podcast that you want to have, the whole network. 2, you have to make the right choices. And 3, that purpose plus those choices drives the outcomes you're going to have. This is a great book. I mean, I give it to you
Thank you.
as a gift, and then you better have Jim read it too.
Okay. Well,
What
now I gotta read.
did Zoe Mintz tell you?
She told me when she came into.
Can you put yourself on the screen because
They're gonna be like, "Who's talking?"
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
And there we go. So, yeah, so everybody can be seen. So when she told me when she came in to she recorded some sort of segment for us, and I was kind of guiding her on like, we want this, and we want this. And she asked me, well, what are your goals for, and what would you like to do? I said something, whether it be in front of the camera or behind the scenes, and if in a perfect world, both. Like, I like to talk to people and interact with them and engage with them, but then also I like to do the technical aspect of it. She comes up to me, she's like, you'd be a great director. And that was, I was like taken aback because that was something I didn't really consider at the time, because I was thinking that there's only like 2 main things, but that was another thing that I was like, no, this is something also that you would be really good at. So I take that into consideration, and then I think I've used that advice, especially as we move forward into this transition within to the old new studio, like we say, and kind of taking my position that I have and saying, okay, well, this, and this needs to get done. These people are going to do it. This is who's in charge of this. This is who's in charge of this. So kind of being that mindset of a director, but not so much within a production setting, but in a business setting.
Zoe Mintz used to do the weather here and intern here, and she is now the weather person for CBS San Francisco, and she had her first national on the morning show, national, I don't know what their morning show is, CBS, and she was the weather person for a week while someone was gone.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
so
Dr. Mintz's daughter.
Dr. Mintz's daughter, Zoe, and she's been associated with us for a long time. But there was a second thing she told you also, and I'll paraphrase
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Because I think it was more important, honestly, was she looked at Adriana and she said, don't you dare wait.
Amen.
Don't you dare wait. It's a world out there where anyone at any age can make the jump and can grab anything. It's all changed, and don't you ever basically sell yourself short on any opportunity. You can do all. And I was like, whoa, Zoe. Like, Zoe,
I have to go out and find somebody to.
Yeah.
But I think she scared you a little bit.
A little, yes. Mainly because I think it's that mindset that as I go to graduate from college, I've been in school for so long that that's the one hurdle in its adult life. And I'm like, man, I still feel like I'm 16 not knowing what I'm doing with life. And it's at that point, it's like, yeah, I think it's from a movie. I don't know what movie. It's like I'm 22 and I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
You know what?
And that's okay.
There is an old cliche statement, and it says, the future belongs to the bold. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing to take that jump. And I'll use myself as an example. My first job, very similar in timeline to what you're living. I was probably about 22, 23. First job, because there were no jobs, was into the insurance business. And it was in life insurance with Prudential. Mm-hmm. And I spent 2 years. In fact, it was funny. My wife pulled out some old letters from a friend of hers who was talking about this event occurring. And I decided it just wasn't the type of place I wanted to work. I needed to go out on my own, which is kind of unheard of in the insurance business, because normally you go in and you build your way up within an organization, and especially in the life insurance business. And I just made the decision I was going to go, and I left. I had no income guarantees. I had nothing. Fortunately, I had a wife who was working, so we had some income coming in. But I'll tell you what, I look back and think, wow, how and why did I make that decision? But if you love what you're doing, initially I didn't think I liked the insurance business. It was strictly a pathway. Mm-hmm. But then when you pay a death claim or you're helping people with what you do, you realize you're doing, in this business, more missionary work. You're helping people improve their lives at a time when it's very bad. Mm-hmm. And it just drove me, and it took a long time. It doesn't mean it happens overnight. You have to be patient. But the future belongs to the bold. So what she said is true.
Oh, yes.
I mean, just like you doing all the stuff you've done here, Jimmy, coming back here, this is your dream right here.
I've wanted to come back. Adriana has interfered with my dream. I wanted to come back here and do radio and not be bothered with any of this. I mean, we have a really high tech. We spend a lot of money. We have a great sports network. Wanted to go back to the basis of radio. I can't do that anymore. The world has changed too much. Adriana and 3 other students or recent grads understand it, and I have to go with their judgment. But to come back to that, Zoe really kind of, I was like, oh, Zoe, man, don't scare the young woman. But then I thought about it. I'm like, all right, we're building this network. We went to the podcast conference, and she went up and talked to one of the guys, and I think the guy was like looking for, where's the boss or the person who makes the decisions. And she had to raise her hand and say, this is mine.
Yeah.
And that is going, as this were to grow, that could happen over and over, where it's like, here it is. I'm a young Hispanic woman. They're not used to seeing that. And at some point, you got to be Jordan Beasley and just say, hey, it's time. I'm the person in charge.
There's actually two stories here. So one story is yours with identifying what you want to do, knowing you're good at it, and moving on it. Mm-hmm. And the other is a person with whom you work who has the faith enough in his judgment to turn it loose to a 22-year-old young lady.
Well, you turned it over when she was 21.
Yeah.
21.
She just turned 22.
He sees the talent. And he sees the potential.
Too much credit. I'm just freaking lazy. I don't want to run it.
No, that is. You know what, Jim?
Well, because the thing is, like, if I wasn't doing something right, then you'd be like, all right, now let's go. I'll take it back.
See, this is his purpose.
Yeah.
Is this station?
It's the radio.
He's been part of it forever, and radio's there.
We're doing our best to where you hit one button, you're like, I'm on radio. That's all I need. You're good.
That's all I wanted.
And you're adjusting to a new world. You can't ignore the world and the changes going on out there and what makes a certain medium more attractive. But it really is living your dream all the way through. You spent 10 years learning more about yourself, or whatever number of years it was when you were in the market playing all the risk games
20.
And everything else. 20 years. But ultimately, in the back of that brain was always this place.
I did not know that, and I think the thing that picks up off of this podcast more than anything else is that there is something about seeing where you want to go, and you will pull yourself toward that. I did not really get that. I think of myself as a slacker, just whatever happens, happens, and I'm not really worried about it, and I'm not. But there is some intentionality where if you are able to understand where you want to take it, somehow you go to sleep at night and you get in the shower, and somehow your body and your mind are working towards that, whether you really are making it happen or not. And I got to believe it, I'm in my 60s. I didn't really learn that until we sat down and did this podcast. So to circle around, I just got that same call. Mm-hmm. To circle around why that would irritate me when you were talking about I'm just this and I'm just that is the same thing with Jordan, and the same thing with Shamari, same thing with Dewan. I mean, these are young black men, and I'm like, hey, listen, how are you going to do this? You think I'm not sensitive to the prejudice against you? I'll give you another example. Dewan is dating a woman, her dad's rich, and they hang out at the country club. And, one time somebody came up and, asked him, thought he was the help. He was a black guy, Mm-hmm. And he's just like, man, he's like so angry, and he wants to take it out on somebody and stuff. Really? I go, is that how you're going to handle this? Really? I mean, you're working on the Nike account. You have a big position in society right now, and all you're going to do is worry about somebody that asked you to go get a drink because they thought you were the help. What are you going to do with that? And I think he kind of started to rethink that. I go, your revenge is your success, pal. Don't you, and you belong in that country club, and you belong. And if you can't convince yourself of that, then, then maybe the guy's right. Go get him a drink. Oh, my God, did he not take that well? Well, the same thing with you. If you're going to go in and you're going to be, tiptoeing in, and all of a sudden we're a several $1 million company.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be real nice.
We're going to change the thinking right now.
That is going to be.
It's going to be. It's going to be great. I can't wait till we get there.
Yep.
Zoe Mintz is right. Mm-hmm. Don't you dare. She said it that way. She pointed. And I'm like, oh, little Zoe. I knew her when she was Dr. Mintz's little daughter playing softball at Munster. She pointed, don't you dare hesitate in going forward. And I'm like,
that's
whoa.
why you have to have the visualizations of where you want to be and have them on this wall, maybe not where the audience can see it, but
put them all right here.
Write the note. I will tell you, it sounds weird. It's one of the reasons why
weird.
I meditate.
You're weird.
Oh, well, so what?
It
makes me unique.
Weird.
Makes me
unique. Like, who puts a picture up and has little, this is the goal.
Do you know what?
Do you not know what vision boards are? That's what people make.
I don't know what that is.
I remember going down to Parkersburg, West Virginia to visit Megan when she had her first job with this little podunk radio or television station in Parkersburg. And I was walking through her apartment, and she had like a workstation. And there, written up on the wall, were a list of all her goals of where she wanted to be in 5 years and 10 years and getting her AMS and all this other stuff. And every one of them she completed by the time she ended up out of ongoing media business. I would like to think it was my influence that made her realize how important that was, but you need to write your goals down. I meditate on those goals, just lying there and letting go, and you would be surprised at the number of ideas that came. I know it sounds weird, but I'm telling you, if you let your mind go, you can access things that for some reason you don't normally.
How do you feel about what he's saying?
Try it. That's all I'll just say.
I was going to say, it's an interesting way to look at it. And I know a lot of people that's how they do stuff, that they write it out. They make like the vision board type where they put up pictures, they put up words, quotes, anything to make them get to the goal that they want to do. So it's not something that's uncommon to me. It's just something that I'm like, okay, this is something that I actually should probably do and see. Just worst you could do is try.
Yep. That's true. And
You're
this
looking
guy,
at us like this is some hippy dippy stuff.
I'm worried that like on drugs or something.
Yeah.
I'm the hippy dippy guy. You guys are taking my
You know,
thunder.
I'll tell you what, you don't give yourself anywhere near enough credit. And the fact that you have the confidence, and this should make you feel good, and that's why you need to write your list.
I know.
There's an old statement, there's just people that got it. You got it, man. You've been successful at everything you've done.
Your judgment isn't foolproof. I've lost all my money twice, everything, and had to restart over. Now, this is the last time. I'm much more cautious and much more risk management, believe me. And these guys are, I'm way more cautious than I used to be because I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
But I think that you're projecting that I'm giving her a lot of confidence and so forth, and I am, but you cannot minimize the fact that I'm just a little bit lazy and I don't want to do all these things.
Jim, I'm trying to save you from yourself. I want.
My listeners get it. They're like, you're just freaking lazy, D'Lo. Yes, thank you.
Well, I'll always be that little bird in your ear saying, "You're not lazy, Jim. You can do it. You can do it."
It's a Jiminy Cricket. He's telling us like you're doing good. Good job.
All right, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. You're not lazy, and I will internalize the compliment that you just gave, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
And a challenge to Adriana. I expect a chapter a week.
Oh, yes.
And a book report on.
A book report, I got you.
That
They're
was
short.
the second part of what I was going to say.
Yeah. I get
Now,
you.
you're here on a regular basis, and I don't mind, and I'll take that, but you got to do this. You got to do what she needs. Her needs are different than mine. Mine is like, you got to take a little credit. You have to you're not really lazy, so go ahead and act on it. And I get these things. I get set a goal, and you'll be pulled toward it subconsciously. I never got that, and I got it now. But she needs to understand the leadership of confidence and organization. Yeah. And so I think we need more Zoe Mintzes, a woman who's gone through those. Mm-hmm. If you talk to her, she's gone through. Gosh, I'm not being taken. She looks really young, like you do. She still looks young. I don't know how old she is now, but she looks 22, and she, I think, doesn't get the respect sometimes that she would want. And that's why she was imparting that to you. Don't you dare let them do this to you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you can do it if you think you can do it.
There you go.
And it isn't pulling you. You're driving towards that goal.
He's Will Glaros. She is Adriana Alvarez. Maybe this will be a historic podcast. When
I could say someday, I remember when we interviewed her on the air.
Exactly. Now she's like telling people, and like people that work for her are pulling this podcast up and go, "Oh my God, you look like a teenager."
It's so funny though when I have to go to like different places and like I meet individuals for the first time. They're like, what do you do? And I tell them, I'm like, well, I run a podcast network. And they're like, wait a minute, what? And I was like, well, yeah. And I think of it's like, this is everyday life because it technically is. But I think it's more so how you're saying it's like the confidence thing and all that. It's because I know that there's so many goals, there's so many steps that I'm just like, well, I'm not at the top yet, but we're going to get there eventually. So that's why I think it's that mindset aspect.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, you threw out enough compliments that we both feeling better about ourselves. Hey, she's Adriana Alvarez, and he is Will Glaros. This is essentially for Will to impart some of his wisdom. I prompted him for this podcast because as much of a slacker as I am, I get it that there is something that you can find in all of his teachings. to help you with your life. There are all sorts of podcasts at Apple, Spotify, also on YouTube that Adriana has edited and put up there, and you can listen to them anytime you want. You're sitting on the beach. They're not they're evergreen. They're not for a specific time. So please do get out there. Thanks a lot, Will.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks a lot, Adriana.
Thank you.
But mostly thanks to you for listening and watching. Until
Charge
Captain
of representing
Flashback,
you before municipal
Brian
boards.
Cummings,
You
and
need a trusted
Joel
advocate on
Calderon.
your side.
They put
At
together
Westland and
some
Bennett,
music
we listen
for
first because
the
your
beginning
story
of the year,
matters.
and
we provide
appreciate
strategic, personalized
that. So
legal
thanks
solutions
to all of our
protect your
sponsors
rights,
for
your freedom,
allowing
and your
that
future.
to happen.
Peace of mind
And
starts with
we're
a
just kind
conversation.
of taking a
Call
break from all the politics and all of the
219-440-7550
discussion, but don't worry about it. We'll be back soon enough. I hope you have a great new year.
Hello, everybody. It's Captain Flashback here to do another session with you. And we're going to do instrumental versions of songs from the 60s and early 70s. This is a type of music that is long lost. Nobody does instrumentals anymore. And we're going to start it out with a great song by Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. It's called The Taste of Honey. Another song, instrumental from the Jefferson Airplane, called Embryonic Gas, featuring a Spanish guitar and orchestration by the Wrecking Crew.